we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
At the DH, Iglesias launches one in the air down the left field line. Ramos was way shallow. He's running way back, and it's going to go! Jose Iglesias, his first home run as a Padre, comes in San Francisco. And the Pods hop on top. It's 3-1.
Earlier in the day, we find out Candelita has a concert coming up at Gallagher Square at Petco Park. And later in the day, it's Jose Iglesias. That's the same guy who hits a home run to help the Padres to a 5-1 win over the San Francisco Giants as the Padres now win a fifth consecutive series. They've won 13 out of 16 games. Padres improved to 68-52. Giants dropped to 59-61. And now our eyes turn towards Anaheim, where the Dodgers and Angels are tied at 6 in the 10th inning. If the Angels win that game in extra innings, it would move the Padres and Dodgers into a tie for first place in the National League West. So everybody here in San Diego right now, all of a sudden, Halos fans rooting for the Angels up in Anaheim. We will keep you posted on that game in extra innings, tied at 6 between the Dodgers and the Angels. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Welcome into our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show. Hey, player, the Jamul Casino Resort is your place with a Lux Hotel Tower opening soon. New dining and a long list of amazing amenities. You'll have more ways to play and enjoy all the perks of your casino fun. Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place. Well, for a third straight day, you just feel like this was a very complete team win. Padres got a little bit of everything in this game. Offense, once again, really top to bottom, showed up in a big way. Padres scoring 5 runs on 10 hits, the bottom third of the order, especially Jose Iglesias, what he did today, very productive once again. Padres getting hits from the middle of their order as well, and they jumped out to a 4-1 lead through 3.5 innings and never looked back, and that was in large part due to Nestor Cortes, who did not complete the 5th inning, but was good in this game. 4 2/3 innings, 1 run given up. Bullpen once again. What more can you say about this Padres pen? David Morgan gets 2 outs. Jason Adam gets 5 outs. Adrian Morejon pitches a scoreless 8th inning. Robert Suarez a scoreless 9th inning in a non-save situation. And for really a second straight day in San Francisco, this was a drama-free win. It really was. Padres took a lead. They handed things off to the bullpen, and that was plenty good enough against the Giants team that is just really, really struggling right now, especially at home. The Giants, in their last 3 home games, have scored a grand total of 2 runs, and we talked about it pregame. One of our keys to today's game was don't let this Giants offense get it going at home, and the Padres have not allowed the Giants to get off the mat. Here tonight, it was a little bit different. Giants had 10 hits. They were 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They left 11 on base. They had big-time opportunities in this game, but the Padres get enough offense. Their pitching, their bullpen, once again, really, really good. And the bottom line is this: the Padres continue to just play good baseball. Any way you slice it right now, they've won 13 out of 16. They've now won 5 consecutive series. They've won 3 in a row, and now an opportunity, they've won 4 in a row, not 3 in a row. I shorted them 1. 4 in a row after losing that series opener against the Red Sox in San Diego. Playing really, really good baseball right now, and an opportunity to keep this thing rolling into LA. They've got one more game in San Francisco tomorrow. First things first, they'll have an opportunity to win a 5th straight game tomorrow and sweep the Giants. And again, we're keeping a very close eye on what's going on in Anaheim. I can tell you right now, runners at the corners, nobody out for the Angels in the bottom half of the 10th inning. So the winning run is 90 feet away from scoring for the Angels. We are oh so close to a tie atop the NL West. So maybe we'll keep it here until we see what happens in the bottom half of the 10th inning in Anaheim. But the Padres continue to just play good baseball. And again, the bullpen here tonight stood out once again. You look at what David Morgan continues to do. 2 outs tonight, getting out of a jam in the 5th inning. Jason Adam getting out of the biggest jam of the night in the 6th inning, comes back out for the 7th. Adrian Morejon, Robert Suarez getting it done. And one of the beauties of this Padres bullpen is they can go to so many different guys every single night and not use other guys. They didn't have to use Jeremiah Estrada tonight. They didn't have to use Mason Miller tonight, but they found a way to get through the game and found a way to win the game despite not having to use a couple of real high leverage relievers in this game. So really, really impressive stuff from the Padres bullpen, from the Padres offense, and they win it here tonight 5-1. We're keeping a close eye on what's going on in Anaheim. Let's step aside. We may have an update for you from Anaheim when we come back. We'll see if that game is over in a good way. By the time we get back from break, we'll hear from Mike Shildt coming up in a little bit. All the radio highlights for you as, again, the Padres win it 5-1 here tonight against the Giants in San Francisco. Padres have won 4 in a row. They've won 13 out of 16, and now 5 consecutive series wins for the San Diego Padres. We'll keep watching what's going on in Anaheim. Let's step aside quickly. Be back in a moment on the Padres Radio Network. Well, if you're a Padres fan, if you're an Angels fan, you are mighty happy right about now. The Angels walk off the Dodgers in Anaheim just moments ago, and with that, the Padres and Dodgers are tied for first place in the National League West. It has been a very, very long time since the San Diego Padres held a share of the NL West lead this late into a season. In fact, right here, right now, here on August 12th, 2025, the Padres and Dodgers tied for first place in the National League West. The Padres have not held a share of the NL West lead this late into a season since 2010. That is the last time before right now the Padres have held a share of the NL West lead this late into the year. The Padres have not won the division since 2006. I think we all understand there is a really long way to go. It is August 12th, but with that series looming in LA, the Padres and Dodgers playing one another 6 times before the end of next week. My goodness, what an exciting week or so it's going to be with some huge head-to-head matchups. The Padres picking up another game on the Dodgers as the Angels win it in the 10th inning. A walk-off hit for Joe Adele. And the Padres and Dodgers now tied atop the National League West standings. Padres beat the Giants tonight 5-1. They'll go for a series sweep tomorrow. We'll continue to break this one down, go back to San Francisco. Hear from Mike Shildt coming up in just a little bit. But first, let's recap this one from start to finish.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
We had a couple of lefties going at it tonight. Robbie Ray on the mound for the Giants. Nestor Cortez on the mound for the Padres. Ray collected the first 2 outs of the game, but then Manny Machado reached on a bloop single into right. A ball that should have been caught by somebody got caught up in the wind. It fell in. Xander Bogaerts doubled to send Manny to third base. Ray then appeared to catch a spike on his delivery to Jackson Merrill and balked. Manny Machado was awarded home. And in a weird way, the Padres had a 1-0 lead in the first inning. Giants got their run in a bit of a weird way of their own in the bottom half of the first. The double and a single put runners on second and third. Against Nestor Cortez, Wilmer Flores then hit a slow roller up the third base side. Nothing the Padres could do with it. A run scored. It was 1-1 on an RBI infield single for Wilmer Flores. We had a 1-1 game going to the top half of the second inning. Ramon Laureano worked a 9-pitch at bat to start the top of the second. It resulted in a leadoff single. Really tough AB for Laureano. That was big because Jose Iglesias was next.
Now the DH Iglesias launches one in the air down the left field line. Ramos was way shallow. He's running way back, and it's going to go! Jose Iglesias, his first home run as a Padre, comes in San Francisco. And the Pods hop on top. It's 3-1.
Padres still led 3-1 going to the fourth inning. Ramon Laureano hit a leadoff double. He stole third. Laureano was 90 feet away from scoring for Jake Cronenworth.
And Jake swings, hits it on a line off the glove of Schmidt into center field. Laureano will come in to score. Cronenworth took a very aggressive turn. They throw behind him at first. Now racing to second, they've got him hung up. Adames chases him back towards first base and tags him out. So Cronenworth is out. The run had scored, and the Padres ahead 4-1.
So a 4-1 Padre lead. Nestor Cortez pitched into the fifth inning. He got taken out after 4 2/3 innings for David Morgan. Morgan finished the fifth with the Padres still ahead 4-1. Morgan got in trouble in the sixth inning. He gave up a couple of singles and a walk as the Giants loaded the bases. Mike Shildt then went to Jason Adam. Adam got a couple of pop-outs to end the inning. Giants left the bases loaded. Adam went back out for the seventh inning, a scoreless frame. So the Padres still led 4-1 going to the eighth inning. The bullpen doing their usual good job. Giants righty Carson Seymour came into pitch. It was the 22-year-old Jackson Merrill who led off.
And Merrill hits it hard in the air to deep left field. Ramos is going back. He's at the wall looking up. This one gonna go! Jackson Merrill takes it out the other way. His 9th home run of the season. And the Padres add on. It's 5-1.
A 5-1 Padre lead, and when you have the Padres pen, well, you can almost script the rest right now with the way it's going. Adrian Morejon, a scoreless eighth inning. It was time for Robert Suarez and a 5-1 lead in the ninth.
The pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. The game is over, and Robert Suarez closes the door in a 4-run game as the Padres win 5-1. They will take out their brooms tomorrow afternoon in San Francisco and go for the sweep.
And then moments later, the Dodgers losing to the Angels in Anaheim in 10 innings. The Padres winning 5-1. Dodgers losing 7-6. And the Padres and Dodgers now tied atop the NL West standings. in first place with the series looming on Friday in LA. Final totals here tonight for the Padres: 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. For the Giants, 1 run, 10 hits, and 1 error. Padres improved to 68 and 52. Giants dropped to 59 and 61. Giants dropping a 4th in a row. Padres winning a 4th in a row. As we've said a few times, Padres have now won 13 out of their last 16, and it is now 5 consecutive series wins for San Diego. They'll go for a sweep tomorrow in San Francisco before an off day Thursday, and then go into LA on Friday. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Plus, if you want to get a phone call in, 833-288-0973. Again, phone number to call, 833-288-0973. Number to dial if you want to get involved. We had so many phone calls last night, phone lines lighting up. I'm sure you're going to want to talk about tonight's win and what is going on with the Padres here in mid-August. Get involved. We have a lot to do on our post-game coverage. We continue after this on the Padres Radio Network. Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Final score in San Francisco: Padres 5 and the Giants 1. And with the Dodgers losing in extra innings in Anaheim to the Angels just a handful of minutes ago, Padres and Dodgers are now tied for first place in the National League West, the deepest into a season the Padres have had a share of the National League West lead since 2010. It has been a while since the Padres have been in a spot quite like this. We have got a long way to go in the regular season here on August 12th, but you have to love the kind of baseball the Padres are playing. You have to love what their team looks like, what their roster is looking like right now, how complete it feels. And you've got to really, really like the potential of the Padres, making this beyond interesting in the National League West. And of course, a head-to-head meeting with the Dodgers, 3 games Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, looming this weekend in LA, and then 3 more games against the Dodgers in San Diego next weekend. So it is going to be a very, very, very interesting week and a half or so. But right now, all the Padres can do is worry about what they can control, and that is winning baseball games. And the Padres doing a lot of that right now. They've won 13 out of 16. They've won 5 straight series. They've won 4 in a row, and they'll try to sweep this series in San Francisco tomorrow. The West Divisional Showdown against San Francisco is presented by Palomar Health, reimagining healthcare. Game here tonight, much like last night, not that hard to tell you about. Nestor Cortez, solid 4 2/3 innings, 1 run given up. Padres got a run in the first inning. Giants tied it in the bottom half, but the Padres getting a 2-run home run from Jose Iglesias in the second to take a 3-1 lead. RBI base hit from Jake Cronenworth in the 4th inning to take a 4-1 lead. Jackson Merrill adding on with a home run in the 8th inning to make it 5-1. And the bullpen was terrific once again. David Morgan, Jason Adam, Adrian Morejon, Robert Suarez combining for scoreless appearances, and the Padres win it by a final of 5-1. Let's go back to Oracle Park in San Francisco and hear some post-game reaction.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt, served up by Sin Lee Food, where fresh meets flavor. Find farm fresh produce, bold Asian spices, and gourmet ingredients at 4665 El Cajon Boulevard. Sin Lee Food, the cook's Asian resource.
And you guys really made Ray work from the start. A lot of quality bats.
Yeah, I mean, we've really, I don't know how many games in a row. Definitely the last game against the Red Sox at home, including last night, tonight, with Ray, 3 tough pitchers, but man, tough at bats, relentless at bats. Just really, really pleased with the guys are taking quality at bats all the way through the lineup, not giving anything away. Bogey's big double. The walk obviously helped. Crony's big at bat later too. Jackson driving the ball the other way, and of course Iglesias with the 2-run homer was all huge. But great at bats against Ray.
Do you think how you were able to put that together tonight with the pitching, Nestor getting you close to the 5 again, and then?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he threw the ball really well, and it's going into the 5th, and you can smell that win. But at this time of year, he was a really good teammate, knowing it's about the team win. And so, different circumstance, different hitter. Maybe think about giving him another guy, but Morgan came in, did his part. But Nestor was really good. He was fantastic. Get us into the deep into the 5th, and Morgan, did his part, and Jason Adam was huge. It was huge to get out of the 6th and grab that 7th, and obviously Morejon and Suarez brought it home, did their part as well.
You do have that deep bullpen already, but how much is Morgan stepping up also kind of further allowed you to say, okay?
Oh, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. We need to have as much length as we can get, which we're getting out of Morgan and Wani in the depth of the bullpen, but also continue to get depth out of the starters. We got a couple of guys down. Other guys got to take the ball, and Morgan got the opportunity tonight.
For Jackson to get to that pitch the other way at night here, what does that tell you about where he is right now?
Yeah, I was talking to Alan Craig, and just when Jackson's doing that, clearly he's in a really good spot. When that ball's driven, and when we've seen Jackson do that, watch out. But Jackson, I mentioned this a couple of days ago. I feel like he's been in a pretty good spot. He's aligned some balls to the left side pretty hard, consistently. He's driven some balls in the gap. Did it again tonight, ball in the ballpark. Jackson's in a really good place.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt after this 5-1 win for the Padres against the San Francisco Giants. Sam Levitt back with you inside our San Diego studios as we continue to wrap this one up. We'll get to your phone calls coming up in just a little bit, and we'll continue to break this one down just to give you a little perspective on how much ground the Padres have made up in a really, really short amount of time. Keep this in mind. The Padres were 9 games out of first place in the National League West. 9 games out on July 3rd. They have made up 9 games by August 12th. So let's count that up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we're talking 5.5 weeks. A little under 6 weeks. The Padres in a little under 6 weeks, because of how well they've played and, quite frankly, how poorly the Dodgers have played, have picked up 9 games in the NL West standings. So it looked in early July like you might write off this division. And, of course, that was before the trade deadline. That was when the Padres weren't playing nearly as well as they are right now. They've won 13 out of 16. But it's pretty incredible. I mean, when you really think about it that way, they have picked up 9 games in under 6 weeks. And again, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here. I don't think we should get ahead of ourselves. There's a long way to go. It's August 12th, and you have a share of the NL West lead, right? And those games coming up in LA and back in San Diego against the Dodgers are huge coming up. It's a long way to go, but there's no way around it. It feels really, really significant that the Padres have picked up that amount of ground in under 6 weeks. I mean, that's no joke. 9 games in under 6 weeks of time. So really impressive. Yes, the Dodgers have not played well, but the Padres had to play well to make that happen. And now if you're the Padres, and we talked about it the last couple of days, it is right there for you. The division is up for grabs. It is right there for you to go and take. You got to do it now. But really impressive, and certainly good thoughts from Mike Shildt after today's win. I thought Mike Shildt mentioning David Morgan again, and we continue to talk about him. And Morgan worked himself into trouble in the 6th inning. Jason Adam helped him out of it. However, it's a good example again here tonight of how important this bullpen is and the optionality the Padres have. I mean, the guys they used tonight, Morgan, Adam, Morejon, and Suarez. Who out of that group, and I know Morgan struggled a little bit in the 6th inning, but who out of that group don't you trust right now? You trust everybody. I mean, Morgan's been great. You know what you have in Adam. You know what you have in Morejon. Suarez, yes, there's been blown saves here and there, but for the most part, he's been one of the best closers in the sport this season. It says a lot when you can use those 4 guys and you don't even say the names of Jeremiah Estrada and Mason Miller. Just like yesterday when you didn't have to use Jason Adam and Adrian Morejon, you were sitting there thinking to yourself, man, close game. You need 3 innings out of high leverage guys, and we don't even have to touch a Morejon or an Adam. Well, it's the same thing tonight. You just replace the name, same concept. So the bullpen continues to be great. I actually thought Nestor Cortes was pretty good in this game, only threw 79 pitches in this game, got taken out in the 5th inning, but I thought showed some development from that first start, some promise. And obviously the Padres lineup, they're getting contributions all over the place and getting contributions from the bottom third of their lineup as well. Ramon Laureano had a really nice day, 2 hits for him, 2 runs scored. In fact, you really want to look at a critical part of this game. Laureano working a 9-pitch at bat to begin the 2nd against Ray, leads it off with a single on pitch number 9. Moments later, Iglesias' home run makes it 3-1. The Padres don't look back in this one. So they continue to play good baseball up and down the roster, every facet, starting pitching, bullpen work, the lineup, what they're getting 1 through 9. It's a complete team effort right now, and you just have to really like what you're seeing from this ball club here on August 12th. Long way to go, but Padres fans, I think you should feel confident about what you have right now. There's a lot of work to be done, but I think you should feel confident about what you have roster-wise and the way this team is playing and the fact that they seem to be playing their best baseball at the right time. But still, a long way to go here on August 12th. Well, step aside. When we come back, we'll get into our daily awards. We've got phone lines lighting up. We'll get to your phone calls, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call. Padres win it 5-1 against the Giants in San Francisco. Padres winning a 4th in a row. They go for a sweep in San Francisco tomorrow. Our postgame coverage continues after this. Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Our postgame coverage is always brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. The Players Place. Padres win it 5-1 against the Giants on this Tuesday night. Padres winning a fourth in a row. They've won 5 consecutive series, 13 out of their last 16 games. And again, that is not the only headline of tonight. It is officially scoreboard watching season, and for good reason, with the Dodgers losing tonight in extras in Anaheim against the Angels. The Padres and Dodgers now both sitting at 68 and 52 in a dead tie for first place in the National League West, with a series between the two teams looming on Friday in LA. That is going to be some series and some handful of games the next 6 before the end of next week in LA, as if it couldn't get any more intense when those two teams meet. It is going to be a lot of fun. And hey, if the Padres were to win tomorrow, they would at the very least guarantee that they have a share of first place entering that series in LA. So the Padres win it here tonight, 5-1. We'll get to your phone calls here in a second, 833-288-0973. First, let's tell you about today's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, presented by David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys. When your freedom and future are on the line, you need the best arm in the pen. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com.
Our relief pitcher of the game here tonight, I think the answer is actually very obvious. Padres had a 4-1 lead in the 6th inning. David Morgan, who's had a great rookie year, got in trouble. Gives up a single, a walk, a one-out single, bases loaded, 1 out. Mike Shildt goes to Jason Adam, who gets a couple of pop-outs in Patrick Bailey and Elliot Ramos to end the inning, keep the tying run stranded on base. Giants left them loaded in that 6th inning, and then Jason Adam comes out and puts together a scoreless 7th inning, and in fact, he worked around a leadoff single in the 7th inning. So for Adam tonight, number one, he stranded 3 inherited runners in the 6th inning, put together a scoreless 7th inning, got 5 outs, did it on 19 pitches, 14 for strikes. Excellent work from Jason Adam tonight, who picked up the win, and more excellent work from the Padres bullpen between Morgan, Adam, Morejon, and Suarez. They combined for 4 1/3 scoreless innings in this game. I mean, what more can you ask for from this bullpen? I mean, right now they are absolutely rolling as a unit, and here tonight, the work of Jason Adam was particularly exceptional, getting 5 outs, and again, the first 2 of those outs coming with the bases loaded in a 3-run game. Hey, that's a spot. You know, you give up an extra base hit, the game's tied. You give up a home run, Giants have the lead. So just great work tonight by Jason Adam in the 6th and 7th innings. Let's hear tonight's catch of the game.
Which defensive play had the biggest impact on today's game?
He is at the wall, leaps up, and he makes the catch.
This is the catch of the game.
Gonna hang a star for Jackson Merrill.
Reeled in by Anthony's Fish Grotto La Mesa, celebrating 80 years of seafood excellence.
Says delivers, and a pop-up behind first base. Arise kind of twisting and turning, fighting the wind. Cronenworth ends up stumbling backwards and making the catch.
Nice play by Jake Cronenworth in the 5th inning. That'll be tonight's catch of the game. Nice job by Jake with the wind battling it here in San Francisco tonight. By the way, Adrian Morejon also made a nice play that could have been a candidate in the 8th inning as well. Both plays very nice. We'll give it to Jake tonight with our catch of tonight's game. Hey, the ball's in the air. Those are tough in San Francisco when the wind is howling like it was tonight. We certainly saw it in the 1st inning. It cost the Giants and Robbie Ray a run. I mean, that ball that Machado hits in the 1st inning should have been an out, should have been a quick and easy 1-2-3 inning for Ray, and instead, pop-up falls in, base hit, Bogarts doubles, Ray balks, and just like that, the Padres have a run. So those pop-ups, when the wind is howling like that in San Francisco, they are not a guarantee, and so we saw that on full display tonight. So a good job by Jake Cronenworth recording what was the first out of the 5th inning, helping Nestor Cortez through 4 2/3 innings today in San Francisco. Let's go to the phones. 833-288-0973. Phone number to call. We got a lot of people to get to, so we'll try to get to as many as we can here tonight with a day game tomorrow. Let's begin things tonight. We go to Spencer calling in. Spencer, you're on the Padres Radio Network. Go ahead.
Well, hello, and I think we spoke yesterday, and I was saying Merrill is heating up, and I can't believe that my prediction was a little bit correct, and our bullpen keeps dominating with us playing Dodgers. I really, really think that they're going to be out in the wild card series. What do you think?
Well, look, Spencer, we're a long way from that. It's August 12th. You got to love the way the Padres are playing. You love that they're tied for first place at this very moment. You love it. But, and I implored people last night with this, I'll do it again. There's a long way to go. There is. Not as far as distance between the Padres and Dodgers. Now they're even. But it's August 12th. There's a long way to go on their head-to-head matchups. 6 of them coming up before the end of next week. So keep your eye on the prize. Take it day by day. And before we start getting into who's going to get knocked out where and what playoff series, you've got a long way to go. I think the day-to-day approach is what you got to do. Padres keep doing that. I think they're going to be just fine. To your point about Jackson Merrill, hey, it was the subject of our What to Watch For segment today. Jackson had 3 hits yesterday. We wondered if that could get him going. It was his first 3-hit game yesterday since May 12th. It also snapped a 4-game hitless streak. And look, he came back out today, had 2 extra base hits, both of them going to left center, which we saw last year when Jackson is at his best. He's driving the ball the other way. He has that ability as a young hitter. Hit a double to left center, and he hit a home run to left center. Great signs for Jackson Merrill in this series in San Francisco. Let's go to Cornelius in North Park calling in. Cornelius, you're on the Padres Radio Network. Welcome in.
Good evening, Sammy. It's great to hear your voice. By the way, first of all, props to you for being the Swiss Army knife of broadcasters for all that you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. In my little corner of San Diego, North Park, they call me the commissioner of Padres positivity because even when the chips are down, I don't get too high or too low. It's a long season. So I like what you said earlier. I think as a fan base, we are confident. We're not overconfident. There is going to be some crazy intensity to the next series. But I'm just stoked for tomorrow's game. And I just would like to quote the late, great John Wooden, respect every opponent, but fear none.
Yeah, Cornelius, I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, look, take it day by day. It's going to be a very intense series in LA. You got a great opportunity there and in San Diego against the Dodgers, but it is August 12th. That's all I'm saying is just take it one day at a time. If you're the Padres, you keep doing what you're doing. You keep playing the kind of baseball you're capable of playing, which we're seeing right now, and good things are going to happen. Take it day by day, one step at a time. The division is not won on August 12th, but you got to keep playing good baseball to make sure you're standing on top at the end. Do I think the Padres are capable of that? I do. Absolutely. I think they are. Absolutely. With this team and this roster and the quality of baseball they're playing right now, you just got to keep it rolling. Let's go to Don, Rancho Bernardo. Don, you're on the Padres Radio Network. Go ahead.
Hey, Sammy. How you doing today?
Hey, doing well.
Good. Well, 2 wins against the Giants, 2 aces. You're never going to complain against that. I honestly did not expect that. Putting up a ton of runs.
Don, great point.
Yeah.
You're spot on. That's a great point. Facing Webb and Ray and getting 2 wins out of this series, that in and of itself, I know the Giants aren't scoring very much and they're not playing well, but that's a great point that you make. That's those are 2 good wins against 2 very, very good starting pitchers.
Yeah, they're the premier starters. You combine kind of putting up a ton of runs since the trade deadline with our bullpen. We're just tough to beat right now, and I think we're getting a little spoiled with our bullpen play. But the last point I just want to make before and I'll let you go.
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy. My mom and I were so happy to see Iglesias with his first homer of the year. That was just super cool.
Yeah, Don, it really was, and appreciate the phone call. It really was, and there was a really good note on Iglesias and that home run. Let me pull it up here. That home run snapped a 268 homerless at bat streak for Jose Iglesias. Entering tonight's game, it was the fifth longest active homerless at bat streak in the major league. So it had been a while. Look, we know Jose is not a power guy, but he can pop one out, and he did. And I really, talking to a lot of people inside that clubhouse, Jose is a really, really good impact inside that clubhouse. He is a popular guy. And I'll tell you what, if you look at the numbers, if you're just going to go by his batting average, you're going to look at it and say, oh, well, he hasn't had a very good year. Well, look, he plays a role. He can play multiple infield positions extremely well. He plays great defense. We've seen him make very impactful plays defensively. And you know what? In a spot where you need a base hit, in a pinch hit appearance like he did a handful of nights ago in Arizona last week, you know what? He's a good bet up there that he's going to come through and put the ball in play. And we've seen him do that. So I think Jose is a very, very valuable piece to this team in the role he's now playing, right? Where he's not going to play every day. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to get a spot start here and there. He's going to let the Padres DH some guys, and he can play multiple positions. He's a very, very valuable piece. And I do think from a clubhouse perspective, he's very important. He really is. He's a veteran. He's got a great head on his shoulders. You might have heard the pregame conversation inside the clubhouse from earlier today. And yes, today the Padres announcing that he's having a concert in September alongside Mexican band La Adictiva. That's on September 25th at Gallagher Square at Petco Park. You can find out more at padres.com/concerts. I'll tell you what, it really is amazing. Like, the guy is a legitimate musician, had all that stuff with the Mets last year. Has real music coming out, popular music coming out, and is going to play a real show in late September, and he hits a home run tonight. I mean, it really is something. Good for him. So I think it's all great. Hopefully the Padres are close to or have already won a division by the time that show rolls around on September 25th. But he's a great story, and I think he's a great guy inside that clubhouse. I really believe that based on, talking to people and seeing the way he impacts that clubhouse. So I think he's a very, very valuable piece to have on a good team. And that's what the Padres are, a good team. So not just a good team. Right now they're playing like a real great team and a division title worthy team right now. So I think a guy like Jose Iglesias is somebody that is important on a great team. So hopefully he continues to contribute. Let's tell you about the heart of the Padres order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the heart of the order. Presented by Palomar Health, the official healthcare provider of 97.3 The Fan. Palomar Health, leading with heart for every patient. Palomar Health is reimagining healthcare.
Part of the order here tonight, Manny, Bogey, and Merrill. Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Jackson Merrill making up the 3-4-5 in the Padres lineup tonight. They went a combined 4 for 12 with a home run, RBI, and 2 runs scored. Jackson Merrill providing the home run and the RBI. Manny scored a run. Merrill scored a run. Xander Bogaerts had a double, so a nice night. For the heart of the order, 3-4-5 spots, Manny, Bogaerts, and Merrill, 4 for 12 combined with a couple of runs scored, a double, and actually, 2 doubles, one from Bogaerts, one from Merrill, and a home run from Jackson Merrill. Nice job by the heart of the order. When we come back, we'll get to more of your phone calls, 833-288-0973. We'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, play of the game, wrap things up, get you ready for some day baseball tomorrow as the Padres go for a sweep in San Francisco. Final score here tonight, Padres 5 and the Giants 1 on the Padres Radio Network. Jamul Casino Resort Padres Postgame Show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Final score, the Padres 5 and the Giants 1 as the Padres win a fourth in a row. They also have won 13 out of 16, now 5 consecutive series wins, and with the Dodgers losing in extras to the Angels tonight in Anaheim, the Padres and Dodgers are tied for first place in the NL West. The latest into a season, the Padres have held a share of first place in the National League West since 2010. So we are really in some uncharted territory in the last decade and a half. Like I've been saying, it's August 12th. There's a lot of games left to play. However, the Padres are playing very, very good baseball, and you should feel very good about where this thing seems to be headed. And the Padres with another very clean win here tonight. Everybody got involved. Nestor Cortez was good, over 4 2/3 innings. Bullpen terrific between Morgan, Adam, Morejon, and Suarez combining for 4 1/3 scoreless innings. And then, of course, you had the offense here tonight. Merrill a home run. Jose Iglesias, his first home run of the season. Padres pounding out 10 hits, and a big thank you to Joe Adele of the Angels, the walk-off hit for the Angels in the bottom half of the 10th inning in Anaheim as the Angels beat the Dodgers 7-6. We'll get to your phone call, squeeze in a couple more before we go. Told you about one score. Let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
All right, we continue to tell you about that Angels-Dodgers game. Angels won at 7-6 in 10. Angels trailed 6-5 going into the 9th inning. Nolan Shawnuel hit a sac fly to tie it in the 9th inning. And then, like we've said, Joe Adele, a walk-off single in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Thank you, Angels. The Mariners beat the Orioles 1-0 in Seattle, in Baltimore tonight. Josh Naylor had an RBI single in the first inning in that game. That would be all the scoring. George Kirby was excellent. 7 scoreless innings for the win as the Mariners continue to roll. They might be the best team in the American League right now. Mariners win it 1-0 against the Orioles. Guardians beat the Marlins 4-3 in Cleveland. Phillies dropped 1 to the Reds in Cincinnati 6-1. Yankees beat up on the Twins 9-1 in New York. Blue Jays beat the Cubs 5-1 in Toronto. Mets beat the Braves 13-5 in New York. Pete Alonso in that game had 2 home runs and in the process set a new Met franchise record for home runs. No one has now hit more home runs as a New York Met than Pete Alonso. He passed Darryl Strawberry for the all-time Met home run record in that win. He actually passed it with the first one, and then he added on with the second home run in that 13-5 win for the Mets. White Sox beat the Tigers 9-6 in Chicago. How about this? The Brewers win an 11th game in a row. They beat the Pirates and Paul Skeens tonight 14-0. The Brewers by far and away right now have the best record in Major League Baseball at 75-44. They are absolutely rolling. Royals beat the Nationals 8-5 in Kansas City. Rockies beat the Cardinals 3-0 in St. Louis. Diamondbacks beat the Rangers 3-2 in Arlington. Red Sox beat up on the Astros 14-1 in Houston. And finally, A's beat the Rays 6-0 in Sacramento. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Tuesday night across the major leagues. All right, let's squeeze in a couple more phone calls here before we hear our play of the game, wrap things up, get you ready for tomorrow. Let's go to Jesus calling in from Ramona. Hi, Jesus. You're on the Padres Radio Network.
Hey, Sammy.
Hey.
Thank you for taking my call, brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm calling because it's to be honest, it's really interesting and really exciting because it is because I was listening to the broadcast for San Francisco yesterday,
mm-hmm.
and they were mentioning how it was Logan Webb's first time that he'd been hurt by the bottom of the half of a bottom of the order
mm-hmm.
Of a baseball team of a team. And so, and as I'm thinking about it, and as I'm hearing this, and AJ Preller did all the moves and everything that he did to pick up these guys. It's exciting because I think this is what we've needed to really compete against the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
You got your superstars, you got Machado, you got Tatis, you got all those guys. But in order to compete with those guys, you really need the whole lineup to be competitive. And I think with the moves that he made with O'Hearn, Laureano, and Fermin, like, we really do look like a real good squad to take over this division this year.
Yeah, good call, Jesus. I'm with you. I mean, it makes a world of difference. I mean, think about what the bottom of the order has done in this series alone. Tonight, this is the 7-8-9, last two nights. Iglesias, the home run tonight. Cronenworth, an RBI single. Fermin had a single. So 3 hits, a home run, and 3 runs knocked in from the 7-8-9. Yesterday, against Webb, it was Sheets, the double, Cronenworth RBI single, Fermin the home run, and boom, it went from a 1-1 game to a 4-1 game in the span of 3 batters in the 7-8-9 spots alone. So they've shined the 2 games of this series, and it lengthens this lineup. They are a much better, more complete lineup than they were before the deadline. There's no way around it. Fermin is a big part of that, being able to have a guy like Cronenworth who's been really productive. He's in the midst of now a 17-game on-base streak. Having him in the 8 spot is great. Having a guy like Sheets, I mean, let's keep in mind there was a portion of this season where Gavin Sheets was hitting cleanup for this team, and now you've got a guy who can be very productive in the 7 spot. The lineup is deeper, and they're productive, and they're doing things that they were not doing earlier in the year from the 7-8-9 spots. It is very much changed this lineup, what they look like top to bottom. All right, let's squeeze in one more phone call here. Let's go to Spring Valley. It's Renee. Hi, Renee. You're on the Padres Radio Network on this Tuesday. Go ahead.
Good evening, Sammy. Hey, listen, I know it's been said earlier, but I would like to revisit the performance by Adams tonight.
Yeah.
That was incredible. When they got bases loaded, I'm not even nervous. I would have been nervous with other pitchers. I said, I don't know how, I don't know what, but he's going to get us out of this, And imagine Mike Shildt, having all these levers to pull. I imagine like on a runaway locomotive, and he's got control of all the levers and the buttons and all these things. I want to see, when are we going to start Adams at first and Morejon at short?
Yeah, right. They can do it all.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, what was really scary is that one play early in the game when Manny misplayed that ball.
Yeah.
Man, that thing could have easily hit him in the face. It looked like he lost it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about it after. That was kind of scary, But hey, everywhere we look, we have gotten so much better, Sammy. It's amazing. Yeah. But hey, listen, Sammy, if I can for a moment, if I could step outside the lines for a minute and bring something up. Okay, when we play at home in San Diego, in our stadium, I would really like, if you can get a hold of that guy that plays the organ up there and inspires the people to chant and play and song. The one thing that is not part of San Diego culture, has never been, and is ugly to hear, is when they go and they play that chant that is associated with other teams and other cities. They have a hand motion that accompanies a certain chant. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to mimic or sing it myself. I don't like it. It's not original. It's not San Diego. We should never, ever do that here. And in particular, when it's more closer to playoff time and people do it in all stadiums and it's almost forced onto us, not here, not anymore. I wish anyone who heard me say this, bandwagon it, and let's get rid of that chant and let's go Padres.
Okay, Renee, appreciate the phone call. I'll be honest with you. I'm not totally sure what you're referring to. So it's hard for me to comment on it. But look, the Padres fans. I don't know what you're referring to as far as San Diego and Petco Park off the top of my head. But appreciate the phone call. And look, the Padres fans in San Diego, they do a great job cheering for the team, packing the ballpark every night. So I mean, I haven't seen anything that's from a San Diego standpoint, Petco Park standpoint, that is ever anything fans are doing incorrectly or wrong there. So I'm not totally sure, Renee, what you're referring to from a San Diego standpoint. But hey, Padres fans do a great job cheering, and I always see keeping things positive and doing a great job cheering on the Padres and packing the ballpark seemingly every single night. All right, thank you to everybody for the phone calls. Appreciate it. If we did not get to you I'm sorry. And hey, we're getting a lot of phone calls right now. That's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. We're getting a lot of phone calls these days, but we don't have unlimited time here on the airwaves, especially with a day game tomorrow to wrap up this series. Padres win it 5-1 in San Francisco tonight. Let's hear tonight's play of the game.
The line between winning and losing can be razor thin. Which play was the difference between victory and defeat? This is today's play of the game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
At the DH, Iglesias launches one in the air down the left field line. Ramos was way shallow. He's running way back, and it's going to go! Jose Iglesias, his first home run as a Padre, comes in San Francisco. And the Pods hop on top. It's 3-1.
That was our play of the game. Jose Iglesias, his first home run as a San Diego Padre. What a moment for Jose on the same day where the Padres announced that he's playing a concert in late September. So what a day for Jose Iglesias. Great moment for Jose. That's our play of the game, his first home run of the season. And quite frankly, Padres took a 3-1 lead at that point. They would never look back in this ball game as they go on to win it by a final score of 5-1. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast with Sam Levitt, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcast. You can also go back on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and watch any portion of our post-game coverage there as well in video form. Tomorrow's game, series finale, Padres will go for a sweep and a fifth consecutive win. First pitch tomorrow in San Francisco at 12:45. Our pregame coverage from inside our San Diego studios will begin at 11:45. Pitching matchup tomorrow on the mound for the Padres, right-hander Nick Pivetta. On the mound for the Giants, it'll be right-hander Kai-Wei Teng is the right pronunciation, I believe. Kai-Wei Teng on the mound for the Giants tomorrow. He'll be making just his second start in his major league career tomorrow, second start of the season. So that's the matchup tomorrow. Teng on the mound for the Giants and right-hander Nick Pivetta on the mound for the Padres. Again, with pregame coverage beginning at 11:45. Taking a look at the final totals here tonight for the Padres. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. They left on 7 for the Giants. 1 run, 10 hits, 1 error. They left on 11. Winning pitcher tonight, Jason Adam, who improves to 8-3. Losing pitcher was Robbie Ray, who drops to 9-6. Final, or I should say, time of game tonight, 2 hours and 50 minutes. And the crowd at Oracle Park in San Francisco, 35,186. Once again, first pitch tomorrow at 12:45, pregame coverage at 11:45. Until then, for our great studio coordinator tonight, Jeff Hamby, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from inside our San Diego studios. Again, the final score tonight, the San Diego Padres 5 and the San Francisco Giants 1. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.